Pay no attention to
Pay
the
no
man
attention
curtain.
to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to
Pay
the
no
man behind
attention
the curtain.
to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to
Pay
the man
no
behind
attention
the curtain.
to the man behind the curtain. Start recording. And do we poof up the hair a bit? Let's just poof up the hair a little bit. Let's do it up a bit. A little poofy poof. All right, let's get this stuff going. Just right when I decide to start recording, the bad kid decides to get frisky. There, now I don't have to hear myself. Okay, welcome to the show, people. What are you doing, bud? Come here, you want your cardboard box? Come here. Come on. No, okay. All right. Dun, dun, dun. A little sip of the cough. Mike looks good. And minimize. Oh, there he is. What are you doing? Say, here, come here. Say hi. Say hi. No, okay. Yeah. All right, guys. What is going on? Now that I got myself nicely covered in cat fur, except it's winter time. He's not shedding right now. All right, you go over there, bad kiddos. I think he's going to get vocal soon, so you guys might have to put up. He's being very needy at the moment. He's 16 years old. And he's going through his needy phase. Yes, that was a 16-year-old cat you're looking at there. Looks not too bad, eh? Yeah, buddy. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. All right. What are we doing here? We're going to do a quick. This is going to be set up as a premiere, so I'll be in the comment section. I don't know. I waved and it did something. What did it do? Let's just see quick. Oh yeah, it cropped out. As soon as this new, there we go. Back at her. There we go. So we'll set it up there. We'll start here. And what do we do? Ow, kiss. He's got, ow, claws stuck in my long johns. Jesus Christ. I'm busy right now, bud. Don't worry. Here, I'll put my feet up and you can curl up in them then. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not going to pet you right now, but we're not petting right now. I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. Does this look okay? Am I looking okay? Framed up halfway decent? Yeah. Nice. Classy. Okay. Where are we here? So, some exciting things have just happened. And in lieu of that, we're going to do a premiere slideshow. So, kind of poignantly, it's 10 years ago, I did this trip to Peru in 2014. And I went with a couple buddies at the time. And I think it was 12. It wasn't 2 weeks. I think it was 12 days we went for. And we did Cusco, Agos Calientes, of course, because you do Agos Calientes and Machu Picchu. Pisac, Ollantaytambo, but we didn't see the ruins in Ollantaytambo. I got to be careful. If I put my finger up, the camera's going to zoom. And what else? There was Morai, the salt mines, and I can't remember the name of the little town, Chichinero, where a bunch of old Peruvian babushkas in their own garb that they make show you a bunch of their culture. They feed you a meal and whatnot. But anyway, you'll see all that stuff coming up in the pictures. But what we were doing here is we're going to go over a couple pictures from two of the files here, maybe for sure Cusco, where we're starting here. And as you can see, this is like a plaque describing, if anybody's been reading while I've been talking here, just their cultural heritage from this was the Coca Museum, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see a big pile of coca down here. And what does this say? Yeah, it's about actually taking coca. And this has been part of their culture for thousands of years. This isn't, it was funny when we were heading up to above Machu Picchu to Huayna Picchu, there was there's people all around you while you're going up the stairs. Too bad I got the glare in there. I could probably use some stuff to take it out, but it might not bring the writing up. I wonder if that's what that would do. Interesting. I can't remember what these are, but yeah, so the past one in the, I think this was maybe like crushing stones or something. I wonder what this is. Looks like coiled up turds. Anyway. Yeah, some interesting facts about coca. Anybody's interested? Ants and butterflies. Their what's that? Their method of pollination. Is that what plagues? Oh no, they have plagues. Maybe there's problems that'll they'll eat the bushes. I have to look that up. Sensitive to cold, but it grows in the mountains. Some some picky. So we spent a lot of time drinking coca tea and chewing coca leaves while we were up there. So anyway, we're going up to Huayna Picchu. Sorry, off topic for a second there. Got reading, and I asked the people ahead of us if they had any coca leaf, and in a snobby American, can't remember which one accent, they got kind of mad at me for asking about it. What's this, ways of carrying your coca? Made of a treated plant, they are filled with calcium mineral in the coast and the jungle of Peru. Peru, put in the mouth. Oh, so this is to carry your alkaline paste. Just specific bottles to make sure your buzz is good with your coca leaf. We didn't add a lot of alkaline paste to our coca leaf. We just chewed it. We weren't adding baking soda to ours. Look at this. They got the classic film canister down here, and in modern times. Anyway, yeah. Look at all this just to make your buzz better, right? And it's cultural for them. I get it. They say at altitude, your blood only runs at Cusco's at 12,000 feet, 11,000 feet, and then at Sacsayhuaman, I think 13,000 feet. And you can keep going up from there, obviously. But some textiles, some cultural textiles, beautiful stuff. Do we want to read all this? Okay, well, I'll leave it here for a second. You guys can read all this if you want. And I'll just continue to, you could pause it here and read if you want. I'll continue to talk and scroll here. These are different pastes, I think, that they would use. Interesting. Little twine and very interesting. Pachamama. Yeah, I had a little Incan cross that I purchased when I was down there. And I'm not a spiritual guy, but I was wearing it for a bunch of years after, especially when I was taking mushrooms and doing different hallucinogenic um, inebriants with hallucinogenic properties, I guess. Some trippy art here. Process of making actual, and this was this coca leaf coca museum that I was in that they have in Cusco, wasn't it? Covered all the aspects of the coca production. I think that's someone that's dying from coca. I can't remember. This was crazy. I remember coming across this. They've got like, if you look down here, they got the old Nokia, and I think there was like cocaine and stuff. And this was representative of somebody in a cocaine like just out to lunch. I can't remember exactly. It was scary and funny at the same time. Oh, there you go. There's the address and the place of all the pictures that were taken there. So I started off this conversation talking about why I'm doing this, and the celebration is, well, I'm going to be booking a trip. Oh well, I skipped by a picture. I just want to mention there's going to be faces in these pictures. I'm not going to bother to censor anybody's face. I won't mention any names. They're just the people, a couple that I went with, but there's also public and other people in the pictures. So whatever. This was at Casa de Campo in Cusco, overlooking, that's Cusco down there where we stayed on our first 2 nights, if I'm not mistaken. Why did that scroll? I didn't want that to scroll. So back. Yeah, okay. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, the celebration is, I keep veering away from what the celebration of why I'm doing this premiere slideshow of a previous travel trip 10 years ago. So you can't, I think that's up here. This camera was pretty good. Look at for that little 3. So the celebratory reason, oh, is it over here? Is I'm going to Colombia. So I'll be booking my trip this week shortly. Right now, I'm recording this and it's 7:10 at night on December 30th. So in the new year, I have, excuse me, I have some personal matters to attend to on the 7th um, of January. And then after that, I'm free. So over the next week, I'll be booking flights, my flight and hotel stay. So I could see it here. No, maybe I can't. Maybe it was off one of those. Anyway, so if, oh, it's right there. If anybody has some information, uh, some tips, some travel tips, some, uh, maybe you're watching this and you're from Colombia and you're in, so I'm going to be in Cartagena and Medellin for probably 2 weeks. I still have yet to figure out my itinerary or figure anything else out. I think I'm going to be leaving anytime after the 9th. I have a buddy that's leaving on the 9th. So, oh, these are, this is Sacsayhuaman. This is up on top of Cusco. These are some really cool, if you get a chance, some really, really cool ruins from before the Incas, they say. Just look at these stones and the size of them. Eh? Now, I can't remember where it is, and I'm not even sure if I have it in any of these pictures. I was looking, so this isn't all my pictures. I filtered some out for you guys to see the better ones. Obviously, there's just a bunch of stuff I ended up erasing too. Another reason I'm going over these pictures is I just recently repaired a hard drive with all these pictures on them. I haven't seen these pictures in 10 years myself until I went through them a couple weeks ago and set this slideshow up. So that was so there's the first picture of me. This would have been 10 years ago. There's our guide. That's me, and there's our guide. um, but yeah, look at the stone. Like, it's just amazing. It looks fake, right? This is what I was going to mention. So I could see here, see this. Now maybe it's a coincidence. I doubt it. And I should have been thinking when I took this picture. Just to mention, I also took the majority of these pictures. Obviously not this one. That would have been the buddy that I went with, or maybe a random person standing there, because maybe the buddy I went with was out adventuring around these ruins, and I was the only one by myself at certain points. Like, we weren't spending the whole time together. I can't remember if he took this or not. Good picture though. But like, for example, this would be me. And this is a snake here. See how they made these snakes into the rock? Like, well, this snake here, apparently, there's a snake, a butterfly, a paw, and something else. And I saw the paw and the snake, and I didn't see the butterfly. Or now I think these are wild orchids just growing out of the ground. They had some beautiful flowers in Peru, if you're into that kind of thing. There you can see the main square. I think that's the Plaza de Armas down in the bottom corner down here, if I'm not mistaken. And I ended up staying the end of my trip just over here in a hotel, if I'm correct. Can't remember the name, but it was a bit more fancy. It wasn't like the one that we stayed at here that I'm taking these pictures from, the Casa de Campo. It was like a 3.6. Nobody spoke any English, and it wasn't exactly top notch, but it was a beautiful stay, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Now, maybe I could see these rocks along here. Somewhere there's a paw with, like, you see if I put my hand up with the pads, it could be in this wall, and you see there's some repair, right? Some recent, there's probably been earthquakes and whatnot. You can see maybe, oh, is that it there? 1, 2, 3, not enough pads. And it's better defined. It's more obvious that it's a paw. But apparently there's other shapes in here. Is this the snake here? And the snake wraps around and it goes all the way along. That might be the snake right there, the one that I was at the picture of earlier. But look at this wall. It's just amazing, eh? Oh, no. There's the snake right there. Sorry. Right here. There. Is that the paw? I don't think that's the paw. Maybe this is the paw up here. It's there. He pointed it to us when we were there, and I haven't found it since. I found the snake's kind of obvious. Now, the paw could also be one of these big ones. I can't remember. Anyway. Okay. Next picture. But yeah, the size of the place too, right? Like, it's huge. And this isn't it. Like, there's stuff behind me. There's stuff off to the right. This was just a good landscape picture. So these pictures were taken with, if anybody's curious, a D5300. It was the person I traveled with. This was his camera. So yeah, back on the, oh yeah, these slides are just, this ripped holes in the bottoms of my pants. It's kind of a good action shot. I think he got stuck and I was trying to give him a little shove as I was on my way by. These boots I had here, I only wore them the one day and they just ended up being too hot the whole trip. I regretted bringing them. I only carried them around, and I ended up wearing my shoes the whole time instead of my adventure boots. They didn't fit me too good anyway. Now, we were explaining that some of these were shrines and stuff. I can't remember exactly what was what, but you could tell like there was different, like how worn this is, thousands of years or hundreds of years. It's smooth, right? From people maybe like praying or sacrifices or chiseling it out and then doing things with it. Just beautiful masonry, beautiful. Here's us stopping to yeah, coca leaf. Getting actually here's we're getting the baking soda in on this one if I'm not mistaken. It's funny. 10 years later, I'm still growing the same amount of fucking facial hair. Um, Look how like you got to be careful when you go there. It's it's so sunny and bright that you're gonna get burned fast and hard. You gotta if you're pasty like me and susceptible, you gotta lather up. You got no choice and keep your hat on. This was neat. We came across just some local people cutting. You can see the chainsaw just off to the left here. Just cutting just rough wood out of pretty sure they were eucalyptus trees if I'm not mistaken. And just him and his wife out there doing logging with like no safety equipment. You could see she's got running shoes on. I think he had like at one point I thought I saw him barefoot doing this stuff. And you could smell the smell of the cutting the eucalyptus was in the air and it was wonderful. Yeah, but they got like no he's squinting. Oh, that's what it was. He doesn't have bare feet. He's got like the Jesus safety boots. But they were super happy to stop and smile and share information and talk about it and but like how many crushed toes and like crushed fingers, maybe they know exactly, but it's just doing the work that needs to be done on the side of a hill with like rudimentary tools. This is Peru. It's cool. It's really cool. And we're just he's the guy our guide has taken us around all these places and just showing us all kinds of cool stuff and everything. And we're going into like a shrine here or something. There's the Incan cross, but he's wearing one. I don't have mine yet. I think he bought one for me, if I'm not mistaken. A blurry picture, unerased, somehow made it through. I love these little geo uh, benchmark, datum point, whatever they are, as a good identifier. Is hey, I've been here. I've got a picture of it. This is something to say that I've. Maybe I should make this one my next. They make fun Facebook profile pictures. A cute fuzzy donkey. Donkeys are fun. I like donkeys. Look, look at him. The guy was taking pictures of him, and he started. So, if you're in any of these countries and you travel a lot, people try and sell you stuff. And we're here tripping along these ruins and stuff, and someone's got a booth set up, and she just starts loading it on me. She puts like, dude, I was sweating, and everybody's laughing, and she's like, I don't know how she did it. It was like magic. All of a sudden, you're just covered in all the gear, and she's like, oh yeah, that'll be this much. Gringo price, right? Hilarious. I didn't buy anything there, but beautiful textiles. Great. That's alpaca. That's all real alpaca. That stuff I'm wearing is not cheap. That's not the imported from China and sold by local stuff. That's the real stuff. It had the tag on it. There's a super duper important tag you're supposed to look for. I can't remember exactly what it looked like, but it signifies the Peruvian alpaca stuff. And it's warm, it breathes. It's a lot of money, but yeah, just look at and they do the whole like, oh, you can't fit a sheet of paper and this and that. No, it's true. Like, and it's all weird angles and shapes. Like that tips back weird, and you can see. Look at like there's a little notch out there, and that one go like, and that wraps around the inside. Like it's it's amazing what they did or whoever. Yeah, this is a lot of like this is a lot of me. Like just like what and then water coming down from the mountains. I didn't drink any of that stuff, but they said you could. So we took a lot of collectivos, just local buses. And this is, how you're traveling around. Horsefly. Fucking horseflies. So I was smoking cigarettes at the time. And like I said, when you go up Cusco, you're at like 11,000 feet. I think where these guys are running, they're like, let's run. I'm like, dude, I'm not running. And then they started making fun of me. They're like, oh, that's because you smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. I'm like, no, because I'm at 11,000 or where we're here, like 12 and a half, maybe 13,000 feet because we're up above Sacsayhuaman. And they're like, let's go for a jog. And plus we were smoking the ganj and stuff too. I'm like, no, I'm not going to struggle to breathe. I'm struggling to breathe as it is. We're hitting the coca leaf all the time. But they go off on a jog and they're mocking me because I'm not jogging with them. I'm like, I just honestly don't think it's a good idea. See there? Look at this is the I'm like, no. Like they're giving me their raspberries. And I was like, I disagree. I'm not jogging at 12,000 feet. I'm not a climber. We just got here. I think this was our second day here. I didn't tell them it was a bad idea. I'm not going to be their chaperone parente. They could do whatever they want. I'm not going to say, hey, you shouldn't, and I disapprove, but I did not jog. All right. More ruins. So we're going to stop for a second. We're going to admire our handsome guide. It's been 10 years, and I forget his name. He was a great guide. Good guy, hooked us up. But on a side note, this premiere is also going to be about a lead up to a second premiere I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get it off before I guess I'll scroll through if I come across a poignant picture, I'll stop it. But my second stream or my second premiere is going to be story time. So I had 3 good big stories that I took away from Peru. Apparently, this was, if I remember correctly, this was a sacrifice, whether it be goats or chickens or alpacas or whatever, guinea pigs. They're big into their guinea pig down there. I ate guinea pig while I was there, the cuy. It was good. There's nothing wrong with it. So, yeah, I've got 3 not safe for work stories. And NS not safe for work. I can do it, dummy. NS FW for work. That stuff. I got 3 of those stories. So I'm going to tell one of them when I go through. Here, we'll minimize this for a second. So right now we're looking at Cusco. That was a practice. You can delete. That's current. Agos Calientes. And we'll see how long I'm going to talk here. I think we're going to do Pisac and Cusco right now. And then we got Machu Picchu Eclipse Night, which is a story I'm going to tell. Some of you may know it. If you're watching this currently and you work with me or have worked with me, I might have told you this story. And Agos Calientes goes with Eclipse Night and Machu Picchu. Those kind of 3 all go together. Back to Cusco. So it's just beautiful, isn't it? And then you can see into the side of the hill, you got the crest here. Llama. Is that a whale? And a tree? I can't remember exactly what the crest was. But anyway, Viva El Peru. And taking pictures, like you can see the sky. It's just beautiful. So anyway, yeah, if you've worked with me, you've probably heard the story, or maybe not. Maybe I haven't told. I tell it to a lot of people, though. I enjoy telling the story. It's a good story, in my opinion. And I'm pretty sure the people I tell it to, I don't even have to tell it good. I could suck at telling it because the story on its own is a good story. And it's true because it happened to me. Whether you want to believe it or not, when I tell it to you, there's a bit of spirituality involved, and I'm not even a spiritual person, right? So, yeah, it involves. Well, let's do a quick teaser here. See this gentleman? We'll do it quick. This is Cucho. And if anybody is familiar, Les Stroud, Survivor Man, Canadian kind of icon at this point, been doing he somewhat inspired me for my outdoor adventures, not just the people from YouTube, but like, I mean, I've been going up into the French River with my parents since I was a kid, in the summers, and then taking off in the canoe and just finding places to camp in the park. Before really, I should have been out there probably on my own and just sleeping in the bottom of the boat at times out in the lake when it was quiet in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, before like things got busy. And yeah, so Les Stroud Survivor Man made two series early in his career. It was the first one, Survivor Man, and then when he was done that, he went on to Beyond Survival. And in Beyond Survival, he went to Peru. And in that episode, I think there were two Peruvian episodes, if I'm not mistaken, one for the rainforest and one for the Himalayas, or not Himalayas, Andes, sorry. Where he did ceremony, he held ceremony with a shaman. This is the shaman that he held ceremony with, Cucho, right here. He's chewing on coca leaf, and this is on our experience. I took this picture in 2014 before our ayahuasca experience. Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, we'll cancel that. If you guys are interested in that story, um, I'll be divulging further into it on the next premiere, which I think I'll try and get out before I take off to Colombia, which will be in the next week and a half. So there'll be two premieres coming out shortly. This one that we're talking about right now, and then the one that the story time occurs in, uh, which will be out consecutively, hopefully a couple days later. Maybe I can bang it off right away. Sitting here talking in front of the camera, feeling comfortable and having a fun time right now. So maybe I'll be able to feel that way when I'm telling my story. We'll see. If I can't get that done before I go to Colombia, we'll get it done when I get back, and that'd be at the end of January, start of February sometime. But anyway, yeah, when you're in Cusco, if you ever go to Cusco, be prepared for a leg workout. Look at this. This is just like commonplace. Like, look at these stairs. This is everywhere. You're gonna be. You don't need to do squats when you're in Cusco. You're gonna be up and down hills all day long if you're on your feet, and especially if you like stay in one of the accommodations or up in the bowl on the sides when you're going down into the city to do your exploring every day. And then you got to go back up. Those taxis don't go up there because the roads you could see like this or like next to, they're small. It's not a favela quite, but it is a little bit. No car, like motorbikes might get you up there, but you don't see a lot of passenger motorbikes, little tuk-tuks, but they're not making it in here. Just beautiful night shot from Casa de Campo yet again, where we stayed. South American motocops. It's hard to shake a stick at them. They are beautiful. And then you have your little tourist map of some major attractions around Peru. You've got one of the ones that we didn't do. So I didn't do Ollantaytambo. Veronica, I'm not sure what that is. Didn't do that. Didn't do Chicone, Urubamba. That's the river, if I'm not mistaken. I did Morai and Maras. Not sure what that Haya Jalamba, Chichinero. Okay, that's where I went, and we did um, the little cultural where they feed you their potatoes and corn and cuy, and then they show you how they make their textiles with their drop spindles and their dyeing and all that stuff. That was all in Chichinero. That was a cool trip. We did Chichinero, Morai, Maras, the salt mines, which I think is Maras salt mines. which is the flats, and then a couple other things. But yeah, that was a good day. Just some more shots from Cusco. Beautiful Peruvian woman in the window here. And we got the Cusco flag and the Peruvian flag up there. So I'm pretty sure these were from Cusco on my way out, if I'm not mistaken. There's usually protests in the streets, people expressing their concerns for various things, and lots of dress up. People like to put on the masks and the you'll see coming up where they're blocking a taxi. Lots of music, lots of flutes, of course. Maybe I should put some Peruvian music on the background in here while we're looking at these. I love that the flute music that the classical do 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 do. It's I miss it. I miss being in the mountains. There you go. You got more guys protesting. They got the masks on. I can't remember what this is about exactly. I think it had to do with farmers or something. But this is one that they do regularly. This is a regular protest. Look, it just covered in wool, eh? Big wool socks, and they must be nice and warm. And maybe that'll maybe it's a political protest. I can't remember. These guys are super friendly. Like, see how they're shaking Buddy's hand? And he's in a taxi. He's out there to make money today. But these guys are leaning on his car and they're all shaking hands, having a good time because he understands that this is something that regularly happens there. It's pretty interesting. The old architecture, the old wood. It's just cool. It's so cool. The old doors. Okay, so that's the end of the Cusco file. All right, we're going to pause the recording and we're going to come back and we'll come back and do the Pisac file in a bit. See how long this is, blend them together. Cheers, guys. All right, guys. I'll be right back. I'll get a little quick hit of water. You guys can still hear me while I'm over here. So, hi, how's everybody doing? You can't see me right now. I'm busy in behind the flags. I'm like the guy from Wizard of Oz, the guy in behind the curtain that works all the magic, makes the steam go poof. And I also, what else do I do? I help make the Emerald City more green. How's that sound? We like to make the Emerald City more green and showy for all the visitors. We keep the color green prominent in the city. We keep all our employees fed and happy. We make sure they have a living wage, good dental coverage, and massage therapy is important. We find that like lots of good massage therapy for all the employees of the Emerald City. And as the guy in behind the curtain, that's my job to make sure all that happens. So while I'm doing that right now, all right, all the necessary bills have been signed and enacted. And we're ready to resume the slideshow. Okay, so okay, what do we got here? We are in a Pisac So, just a little quick side note. This would be like, I think our third day, we went into Pisac, took a collectivo local bus. I think I showed a couple brief pictures of it, of a crammed collectivo on my last. So that cost us 10 soles, I think. So $2, $3 at the time. No, I don't think it was 10 soles. I think it was like 3 soles. So like $1 to make it from, I think it was an hour and a half from Cusco to Pisac, and that's some mountainous winding roads that can be possibly nauseous for some. It was fun though, very exciting. Okay, let's try this again. Screwed it all up last time. Okay, so basically just have to do everything that I did last time again. Okay, guys. I went like halfway through this file. I screwed it all up and I had the display capture on the wrong thing. So hopefully I reiterate everything that I just said again, but better the second time around. Okay. So we are out of Cusco and we are into Pisac. And what oh yeah, I think so the first day we just spent exploring around town. I don't even know if these files are in. Let's see. Yeah, they're somewhat in order. We're missing some. It'll be good enough. And it's not mainly about this trip. The yet again, in case anybody is just showing up through this premiere, I'm down in the comments section if you have any questions. But this is also an announcement of a following premiere where I'm going to be doing a similar style of slideshow of pictures of a trip that I went to Peru in 2014, except in the next not live stream, but I'll be there in the comments section, like I said. But in the next premiere of the slideshow of the pictures of the trip I took in 2014 is story time, and so that story time is going to include. Oh, just look at this. 1935. Look at this. Like maybe a flag used to be up there or something. Oh no, it's like mud, sticks, and there's so much photogenic just things in Pisac and in Peru in general. But anyway, the story time in the next stream, okay, I'll hold off on this picture. I have a story to tell about this one quick. Oh, I just saw my thing blink. I think I zoomed out. Let's just check that quick. So in the next, yeah, we'll do that. Can I like, can I do, can I do that? It's coarse and fine. Wonder what that is. Oh, it's the movement. Yeah, we want slow movements. Can I do that? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you go back. We go back here. So, story time in the next premiere will be of here. You know what? We'll pause this and we'll go just as a teaser. We'll go over to the other file. Okay. So, we'll rest it on here for a second. This fella, Cucho, I took these series of pictures during our trip in 2014 to Peru, and Cucho was our shaman for our ayahuasca experience. Um, our ayahuasca experience occurred under a blood moon. Uh, you know what? That's all I'll tell you for now. But this file is our experience of that night. This is the story I have to tell. This is I mean, everybody that I'm not a spiritual guy, and everybody I tell the story to, I tell that I'm not a spiritual guy, but this is a story, and this is what happened to me. So this is what I'm going to tell to you guys on my next um, stream. This is probably one of the best stories that I have out of my, well, getting close to 50 years on this earth. So um, yeah, look forward to it. But this is just the announcement. The announcement stream of what the story I'm going to tell on my upcoming next stream. So stick around for the rest of this slideshow and come back for the next one where it gets a little more interesting. So anyway, back to the guinea pigs. You guys see those guys in there? The reason I couldn't pass up and I had to derail because I'll just keep getting muddled and ADD-ish about my stories and bouncing from one things to the other. But um, when you go to Peru, sorry guys, sorry some people, I know this might be hard to hear for some people that you don't know, but they eat guinea pigs. And I mean, I ate them twice. They're pretty tasty. There's nothing, I mean, I wouldn't order it myself again, but like, you have to try for an experience. And then if you're in the local situation with locals and they feed it to you as a meal, you can't say no, kind of thing. So, um, but the analogy I like to use when I'm explaining the story to people is in North America, when you go to Red Lobster up in Canada or the United States and you pick your lobster out of the tank, this is what you're looking at here. You're picking your guinea pig out of your lobster tank here. And they take it to the back and then they bring it out to you and you eat it. And ooh, I know I mean, it's part of the experience. I'm just going to show you guys, okay, I'm just going to look away if you're squeamish at uh, food from another culture, but this is what you get when you order cuy. Literally, like guys, they sometimes they'll prop it up on the plate, right? And they'll turn the plate to you. So it's facing you propped up on some rice or potatoes or whatever your side dish is. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Okay. For those of you that did look away, you can look back now. We're past, except there's some chicken feet here. Sorry. It's just it's culture. It's a different culture. It's food in a different world. And some people can handle it and some folks can't. But now, okay, and this is the other side of it. A lot of the ayahuasca and shamanistic culture is there's a lot of veganism involved around it. So before you take ayahuasca, they suggest that you do like a 3 to 6 day purge of like low heavy starches, no pastas or rices. Try and stick to greens and vegetables, maybe a bit of bread. I think maybe a bit of rice, but no like meats or cheeses or anything heavy, lactose, like milk, anything like that. I don't know about yogurt, but yeah. So they suggest that. So we did. We went with the diet before we went on with our ayahuasca and our San Pedro ceremonies. Lots of dogs, cute dogs. None, not really. I didn't experience any mean dogs in Peru. The locals say they get genetically dealt with. They don't. The mean ones don't tend to stick around too long. Whatever that meant. Just cute local kids. Like, I mean, everybody's friendly in Peru. It's just a beautiful. Of course, there's shaman, and then there's shaman looking to sell products, and this guy he pulled us right in off the street by the local market where they're hawking all their wares. And there's some pretty good alpaca stuff you can get there, and there's also some fake Chinese stuff you can get there. And outside of this guy's shop was the biggest, shiniest, jacked up Hilux I'd seen in all of Peru the whole time I was there. And he had all the chakra stones and everything ready to go. And he insisted everybody lays down and he gives them a blessing and sprays, sprays the aqua florida on you. And like every shot in Peru, Pisac especially, just gorgeous. It's Wachuma growing everywhere. You could see it just coming out of the side of the mountains here. It's probably, I thought there was 2 or 3 spots in this shot that I saw before I took it. There's a little bit there, but like everywhere you look in surrounding Pisac, there's Wachuma everywhere. What is this? I couldn't remember last time when I botched up the stream and I had to re-record. I should have looked it up. It's the mezcal plant, isn't it? Anyway, lots of uh, animals, like farming animals everywhere. Just kind of random. More Wachuma, more San Pedro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided. Big fat ones, just huge, huge ones. Oh, oh. Incan Cross is a fire pit. That was the property here where we did the Wachuma. I think that's the Urubamba River, if I'm not mistaken, right there. And that was our guide. So from Pisac, this is why it's in this file. We did Morai, the Salt Flats. I just looked it up, the actual name of the place, and I was saying it wrong. Okay, we'll do Chichinero, Peru. Chinchero. Chinchero. Oh yeah, let's look at the weather. Oh, oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Yeah, there's our trip to the Salt Flats. 12 hours of light, 12 hours, 18 through the day and 2 at night, 4 at night. It's like that's perfect. This is really neat to see. So that water comes out of the side of the hill and it flows to everyone. See that tiny little stream there, and then it boom drops in there. That probably drops there. That drops there. And these are all fed, I think, from this one right here. See, you can see it just running along barely right there, and it goes down one in between there. Really neat to see that. And the organization, each one's owned by one family. Forget, they said if there's 1,000 there or not, I can't remember. There's a whole bunch down here you can't see. And that's the source. I should turn that 90 degrees, I guess, but we got to dip our fingers in there. It's just crazy salty. Yeah, apparently you can't go down here anymore. We got to go down and traverse some of the flats and talk to some locals that were working down there and stuff. Another beautiful door. What is that, like medallion up there? Look at that. It's like sandstone maybe or something. And there's Mordrai. Look how small the people are there, eh? 6 foot. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72, 78, right? I think we're up. So yeah, almost 100 feet. Did I go from the bottom? I don't know. No, I didn't. I just went from there. Crazy, eh? Yeah. So yet again, there it is. There's your cuy, veggies, potatoes, corn. Boom. Local meal. Eat it. She got the ass. Look at this. She wants me to stay in town. No, these ladies were awesome. She hands you something like that they're drop spindling and making all these fibers and stuff and all by hand, dyeing it all by hand. I think you'll see it coming up here. So that root that's right here is that soap. That's just from a root that they know what it is. Um, all the dyes are all natural. Where is it? They do everything, all the boiling outside on these little stoves with their clay pots that they make. So like different dyes, one of them's like a bug from a cactus. It's hard to see here, but it's like a parasite. And then they squish it in their hands. Maybe this is it here, I think that white. But when you squish it, it goes purple. And that's one of the dyes they use for their wool. And then she hands you the wool and tells you how they set it with their own urine after you're holding it. Except, it gets washed and stuff. So I have, it might be this one right here. Is that it? Uh, it's one of them. It's something like it. I bought one of those nice little tapestries there. Not cheap, but I mean, look at pay good money for good products. So friendly. Oh, oh. So we're on the bus heading down the side of the mountain. And this guy just skips right by us. Like it was awesome. He was like maybe 40 feet above us, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Oh, like guys, go to Peru. I don't know whatever that was, but I didn't want it to bite me. But yeah, Pisac. So in your third world countries, sometimes you're just gonna have to expect third world outcomes. And from 6 o'clock, no, 4 in the afternoon, no, yeah. As soon as it got dark, no lights came on because they went out through the day in town, and we were maybe like 2K out of town at our hostel. So we walked into town, and we walked around town uh, with absolutely no lights. I think one of us had a headlamp, or we're using our cell phone lights. So I took a couple pictures. And we went to a restaurant. We had food by candlelight. They were trying to get rid of, and we came by this one intersection. There was like, it had to have been like at least a dozen dudes in hard hats and like rough safety gear, all like getting anxious with each other about this junction box they were all working on. It was hilarious. So this was our hostel right here that we stayed at. A beautiful place right under. You can see up here. It's hard to see, but there's ruins right up top there, and you can see the stagings, the different plateaus where they would grow their crops. Oh, okay. I have very few videos from the trip, but this is one of the poignant ones. I don't know if the audio is going to come across. But I went hiking up past some of the ruins on a side trail. You can see the ruins here. And this is like shitty video from unfortunately, what I had available to me at the time. Uh, but these kids were whistling down to me, and I was whistling back with my loon call, which I can't do now because it's quiet and it's late at night. But um, I'd loon call, and they'd make a call back. I don't know why. Beetle. Oh, yeah. If I turn my headset up, I can hear it. So hopefully it's coming across in the video for you guys. Yet again, photogenic doors. Look at this. Like, look, keyhole right there. So cool. Just beautiful. Yet again. Let's go back and look at that for one more second. Lovely. Lovely. Dog. Dogs. Kids and dogs. More dog. Dog and mountain. Dog, alleyway, and mountain. So these are the ruins from that you could see from the hostel. This is the Pisac ruins. So you can see a bunch of tourists there. Yeah. Um, I mean, obviously not as quite visually spectacular as Machu Picchu, but just as good. And you can see some of so a lot of this, there's a mix of different, I think this was featured in a couple films and stuff too, but you can see like cobble, but then more of the smooth here along, right? And then here a little bit. And then maybe just the bottom of this where it kind of integrates up. But this kind of goes all the way along up there. Interesting. Different timelines and different people, different cultures building, copying each other, but not. Oh, oh, oh. Guys, 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 go to Peru. Go to Peru. Yeah, yep. What can I say? I didn't get to go see the condors, but the fellow I traveled with, one of the fellows I traveled with, gave me his SD card when he left, and he said it was pretty interesting. Huge birds, eh? And that would have been a trip from Pisac that he did that I didn't do actually. The one day I went for a hike up Pisac and they went and saw the condors. So I did these ruins here twice, once with them and once on my own. This was going back up the pathway to where those kids were whistling. And this was like looking down. So the kids would have been up behind me to my right. And the vista. Guys, I'm only going to say it one more time. Go to Peru. So we ended up hiking up all through here, up here, up here, and then we went up the top and over with. It'll be funny. So this is the day I did it on my own. This was so those that I was just pointing at are here, and then you can go up and down and down, and then there's a bunch more right here, and then look at the sweep. Like it just kind of it sweeps up and across like it. Yeah, just beautiful horticulture. Look at that. Everything in the mountains grows smaller because it's harder to, except the cactuses. They thrive in some of these in between spots higher up. There's the kids again. These guys, these are the kids that were, I think they had a soccer ball in it because I was sitting at one point, I was up here. It looks like they have a ball there. I should have gone back up and hung out with them. I was kind of a bit pressed for time. So I think this is Munya and I think it's a mint. You rub it between your hands and you sniff it and it like rejuvenates you because up here you're at like I think it's like 10,000 in Pisac where we are here. So this is where the kids were up here. There was like some houses and a little community back in at the top of there. It looked like a couple different houses. So I trekked from these are bathrooms, these are the public washrooms as part of the park, and I kind of went up into there. And then I took some pictures from there of those are the pictures that you see here. So here, and then over on the right over here is that. Some of the old stuff and then some of the newer stuff. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that could be a tarantula. It was pretty big if I remember correctly. It was 2.5 inch across, maybe three. Some more of the old build. Just it's a good screensaver. Just nice old lichen on rocks, old lichen on older rocks. I think one of the people described the stairways were built like this to help reduce if they were getting invaded, reduce the amount of people that could come up the stairs, if I'm not mistaken, and also for drain off too. Yeah, just just gorgeous, guys. Thing of beauty. Is this our hostel down here? Oops. No, it's in one of these pictures. The hostel. I think this was my one of these rooms was my room. Or is my room back to the right? Actually, I think it's back to the right. These are graves, burial sites where they would mummify and put the higher ups up in this mountain cliff sides of the mountains. Apparently, they've all been raided for what was ever in there. Any trinkets or historical artifacts have long been since raided out. This is where you hike down this valley. There's a bridge here and another one somewhere in the, oh yeah, right here in the foreground. And you do just this crisscross, 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 the bridge, and crisscross, crisscross down the bridge. And it's a beautiful hike. I think I set my timer to 20 seconds and ran as far as I could. About to flower some beautiful cactuses. Just for a size reference, some of these paths can get nerve wracking. Like there's no safety in Peru, and you get to something like this where it doubles back and it can get a little sketchy. I think I got a better. Oh, oh, this is one of my more favorite pictures I've actually ever taken. I gave him a couple pesos, and actually, I think I bought a necklace off him or something. So yeah, yet again, guys, this is my trip to Peru in 2014. I know maybe some of you might have that have been here through this whole what was supposed to be short that I'm sure is now turned into about an hour and a half or maybe even longer of slideshow. This is in my room in my hostel in Pisac. Same in the room. I brought a journal, never wrote in it once the whole time. I'm not a journal guy. I don't know what it is. That's the Sole. That's 5 soul, 1 soul. Anyway, yes, this is a preemptive announcement slideshow stream slash um, uh, what do you call it? Uh, I, I'm in the comment section. Hi, say hi to me down there. Thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe. But if you've been here since the start, you've already heard me mention this multiple times. Maybe you haven't because you just joined. There's me, 2014. And actually, there's 2 announcements. I'm going to be going to Colombia shortly, so there'll be a video from that coming out, sometime probably in February. My production schedule has been set back. I still have yet to finish my tomogamy video, and guys, I'm going to get to it. I swear, I promise. But the bigger announcement is the second half of this um, slideshow is a slideshow of the other part of this trip where I have my story time and I tell my story about, uh, we'll put it this way, we'll say it involves a mountain, a shaman, a blood moon, and ayahuasca. And there's much more to it, but is that the hostel? Where's the Urubamba? I think it's actually back over to the right. Now I went Pisac, I went ruins on my own up here, and then I did it again with these guys the next day or the day after. So oh, maybe that's it. No, that's not it. But that's Urubamba down over here, I think. So I took a route down where I kind of asked people which way to go. And then I said I could get us down, but they didn't believe me. So they inquired about getting someone. And this lady is just like on top, basically where my buddy is here. She took us up over this stuff with the baby in her back and the whole, like, oh, this is a good shot too. I'm pretty happy with this shot. We were huffing and puffing a bit. I think we're up, I think it's 11,000 feet, maybe 12 here where we are. That's where you come in. I'm pretty sure this is the start of it. Yeah. So she had the baby and she took us over this gnarly shit. And the 2 guys I'm with are questioning her the whole way. And even I was a little bit apprehensive. Like she's got all her wares for sale. We all bought headbands off of her and stuff. Pretty sure this is where I got my headband from was her. And look at what she's taking us down. These guys are like, "Are you sure?" Like I mean, guys, she's carrying a baby. If she's carrying a baby, like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, no, no, I'm sure. I'm sure. Don't worry. This is the way. This is the way. So some of these actually pictures are from, oh, so there it is. There's the Urubamba. You could kind of see it snaking along back there. And our hostel was, that's it right there, I'm pretty sure. And that's the property. Yeah, that's where I did Wachuma right there. What an experience. So we're on our way down to check out these ruins right here, and there's some more. There's a bunch more. I didn't see these other ruins on my first day, so I got to cover all of them over both days. And I'm glad I went back and did it again because I didn't go through this hole either. It's part of the path. Super cool. Look at this place, guys. Guys, go to Peru. Look at it. 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 More wildlife, more insectus. So this one is pretty important if I'm not mistaken. These are pretty sacred ruins right here, and this rock is pretty important. The sunstone or something. I can't remember exactly what the significance was, but maybe if you're Peruvian and you're watching this, maybe you can chime in the comments and let people know what we were looking at back there. Oh, there it is again. So I did Wachuma right in here and spent a bunch of time in there. That's another story. It's not quite as good as the story I'm going to tell in my next slideshow, but it's a pretty good one. All right, I think we're coming to an end here on the Pisac slideshow. You can see all the way down there. I think that was the market, not in this shot. Oh, and we're down on the market. Go to Peru, guys. I can't quit saying it. Oh, don't think of food, just think of cute. I mean, that's one of the people that eat those guinea pigs. How can you take a look like that and be mad at it for eating a guinea pig? How can you? How can you? Anyway, guys, I think that's the end of the slideshow. All right, join me for my next one, hopefully soon. Ha. Okay, signing off. Thank you for coming around. I want you guys to stay cool. Peace out.